Hello, my name is Mr. Gauss and I'm a teacher of mathematics. I teach all year groups in mathematics and I'm going to read the next installment of our lovely story, Alice in the Wonderland. Have you guessed the riddle yet? The Hatter said, turning to Alice again. No, I give it up, Alice replied. What's the answer? I haven't the slightest idea, said the Hatter. Nor I, said the marsh hare. Alice sighed wearily. I think you might do something better with the time, she said, than waste it in asking silly riddles that have no answers. If you knew time as well as I do, said the Hatter, you wouldn't talk about wasting it. It's him. I don't know what you mean, said Alice. Of course you don't, the Hatter said, tossing his head contemptuously. I dare say you've never ever spoken to time. Perhaps not, Alice cautiously replied. But I know I have to beat time when I learn music. Ah, that accounts for it, said the Hatter. He won't stand beating now. If you only kept on good terms with him, he'd do almost anything you liked with the clock. For instance, suppose it were 9 o'clock in the morning, just time to begin lessons. You'd only have to whisper a hint of time, and round goes the clock in a twinkling. 1:30, time for dinner. I only wish it was, the marsh hare said to himself in a whisper. That would be grand, certainly, said Alice thoughtfully. But then, I shouldn't be hungry for it, you know. Not at first, perhaps, said the Hatter. But you could keep it to 1:30 for as long as you like. Is that the way you manage? Alice asked. The Hatter shook his head mournfully. Not I, he replied. We quarrelled last March, just before he went mad, you know, pointing his spoon to March hare. It was at the great concert given by the Queen of Hearts that I had to sing, Twinkle, twinkle, little bat, how I wonder where you at. You know the song, perhaps? I've heard something like it, said Alice. I guess you know, the Hatter said. It continues in this way. Up above the world you fly, like a tree tray in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle. Here the dormouse shook itself and began to singing in its sleep. Twinkle, 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 twinkle. And went on for so long that they had to pinch it to stop. Well, I'd hardly finished the first verse, said the Hatter, when the Queen jumped up and bawled out, He's murdering the time, off with his head. How dreadfully savage, explained Alice. And ever since that, the Hatter went into a mournful tone. He won't do a thing I ask. It's always 6 o'clock now. A bright idea came into Alice's head. Is that the reason so many tea things are put out here? She asked. Yes, that's it, said the Hatter with a sigh. It's always tea time, and we've no time to wash the things between lines. Then you keep moving around, I suppose, said Alice. Exactly so, said the Hatter, as things get used up. But what happens when you come to the beginning again? Alice ventured to ask. Suppose we change the subject, the marsh hare interrupted, yawning. Oh, I'm getting tired of this. I vote the young lady tells us a story. Afraid I don't know one, said Alice, rather alarmed at the proposal. Then the dormouse shall, they both cried. Wake up, dormouse! And they pinched it on both sides at once. The dormouse slowly opened his eyes. I wasn't asleep, he said in a hoarse, feeble voice. I heard every word you fellows were saying. Tell us a story, said the marsh hare. Yes, please do, pleaded Alice. And be quick, added the Hatter, or you'll sleep again before it's done.